you can adjust your sounds according to your preference, right? I believe you can hear me clearly. Am I right? Can you just drop your messages here to the chat box? Is there a chat box? Yeah? Can you hear me clearly? Everyone, can you hear me? The thumbs up like this. You can hear me clearly. The thumbs up like this. Can you please put the thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Great. Others? Right, okay. Others? Okay, good. If you can't see or if you can't hear me, just let me know, okay, students? So I'm trying my level best to share everything in a way that you also can hear me. All right, so we are going to do a revision on what we did last week, right? So I will share my screen with you. You have to connect to that activity by scanning the QR code and then we will engage in that activity, right? Can you scan this code? Can you see? No shouting. Great. Can you scan this? Are you able to join? Let me also scan. Students who are joining online, are you able to scan? Yeah? Okay. So you should be able to see this screen. This screen. Have you been able to log in? Right? So now I'm going to give you some questions. You put your answers to these questions. These are based on the lesson I did last week, right? My first question to you is this. What is one thing you are grateful for today? Submit your answer. What is one thing you are grateful for today? Don't look at your friends' answers. You write your answer. Write your answer. No. Type here. Type here. In the application itself, type it. And then your friends will be able to see your answers. Anonymous. Your name is not going to put. What is one thing that you are grateful, thankful in your life? Yeah. So some say friends, of course, friends, something positive. Hanging out with my favorites. Yes, of course. Technology. Okay. For some, it could be technology, right? You are grateful for technology. Yes, of course. Then, having good parents in my life. That is a blessing, of course. Meet up my uni friends. Of course. Friends, mother, to have a heavy lunch. Oh, I would love to have a heavy lunch. Friends, having my parents, girlfriend, ice cream. Nice, well, I know. Friends and friends. So many of you have said friends. So, of course, having good friends is a blessing. And also, having people who bless you with love is a blessing, right? So, you are grateful for these things, right? And then, let's look at another one. What is your positive habit? You have to understand what your positive habits are. Share it with your friends. What is your positive habit? Okay, reading, self-confidence, kindness, very good positive habits of yours. Uh-oh, thinking about past? No, that is not a positive habit. Thinking about your past only if you are thinking about the good things that happened to your life, of course it is good. But then again, there's no point of thinking about your past, right? That is not a positive habit according to me. Planning your future is a positive habit. Procrastination, oh. Self-reliance, yes. Helpful, self-believing, can try a food item anytime. You think that is, yes, of course. Why not? Not that everybody can do it. Not selfish. Listen to others, which is a very good positive quality. Listening to others. Self-love, chilling, and meet good people. Be patient. Yes, it is a positive quality of yours. If you can be patient, right? Self-believing, saving money, of course, a very good positive habit. Supportive. Now I think my students who are joining online can see, and also your answers must also be here, right? Right? Waking up early. Oh wow, that is really a positive habit, I must say. Honestly, just raise your hand who put that. I'm going to just reward you for doing that. No, not everybody can do it. Except for that one person who said it. Do you think you can wake up early on a day like today? Good. Ignore who ignores me. Very good. Very good. Always nice to everyone. Yes, that could be something positive. So I think you also can see your friends' answers, right? You can't see, only you can see from here. Now, eating is a positive habit as long as you don't gain weight. Now, for me, eating is not a positive habit because I'm already like a pudding. Right? Teaching, yes, of course, a positive habit. Honesty, yes, being honest. What do you mean by BTS? Stay happy, care about others. Annoying siblings? You think that is a positive habit? You annoy your siblings? Come on. Siblings, come on. I can't have a positive habit there. I think you have not understood. Come on, Rashmi. Rashmi is a positive habit.
He's not here. He's not here.
The person you are referring to, Rashmi, you should have. You did not agree that he comes slow. So his positive habit is Rashmi. Is that what you want to say? I got you. Good. Rashmi, Adenavati. Rashmi, no, must be enlightening that person's life. Must be, right? The name itself. Enavati jeevite ediyavela atte Rashmi. Come on then. So anyway, now look at the positive habits that you have, right? Apart from all the jokes. Look at now, why am I coming up with these type of tasks, students? Because skills development or learning your soft skills is not only based on the subject matter, right? It should be always applying them to your life, right? Application to your life is there, right? So here you have understood what your positive habits are. As a person, you should know what kind of positive habits you have. Why is it necessary to understand your positive habits? Because then only you will be able to improve those positive habits to become your lifestyle. Do you understand? So, habits become your lifestyle. That is where we are going, right? If you have bad habits, try to minimize them, try to avoid them, and try to improve the positive habits that you have mentioned here. Do you understand? Okay, so with that, I'm going to thank you so much for participating in that. We are going to start today's session. I'm not very well today. Now, what is our lesson about? What is lesson today is about stress management, which is something that many of you may want to know, right? So this is the second lesson that I'm supposed to do with you. Stress management and flexibility at work. How are you going to be flexible at work while managing the stress that you have in your everyday life? This is important, right? Keep your phones aside. Right? So by the end of the session, you should be able to identify the concept of stress that can demotivate an individual. Okay? Do you think stress can motivate? Well, most of the time it won't. But sometimes some people take stress as a motivation factor. Right? It depends according to the situation. Practice work-life balance. This is very important, students. Practicing work-life balance. Just because you have so much work at work, it doesn't mean that you can neglect your personal life. Having a balance between both personal life and work life is important. Next one, adapt to different duties and roles at workplace. So you may be people who are engaging or handling different roles in your personal life as well as your professional life. So how can you manage stress in order to adapt to do these roles in everyday life? Demonstrate flexibility in managing workplace and personal life. Now, I have a small video for you. Let's look at this one first and then we'll start our lesson. Pay attention to what is said here, right?
We might think, I'm stressed, or this is stressing me out, but what do we actually mean? And what can we do about it?
Yes. Can you hear?
We might think, I'm stressed, or this is stressing me out, but what do we actually mean? And what can we do about it? We could mean situations or events that put pressure on us, like things in our personal life, or how we're affected by the pandemic. Stress can also describe how we feel when we have demands placed on us that we find difficult to cope with. Stress isn't a mental health problem.
Okay. That is okay. For the students who are joining online, I will share the video later. For you, I will share it first, right? Right. Now can you hear me? Now, is it okay, everyone?
Yes, madam.
Ah, great. Okay. Sorry, I have been explaining this, but then again, I did not say anything much. Okay, my students who are joining online. Nothing much. I was just explaining the first point and the second point. However, so what I was explaining to them is that every day, all of us are going through a stressful life. Although, can you please mute your mics, the ones who have joined online? So, although we see that technology has invaded our lives, still we tend to spend a very stressful life, right? When we compare with the generations who have been in the past, right? So here, at the same time, the need for adaptable work arrangements has become more pronounced, enabling individuals to balance professional responsibilities with personal needs. So what is important here is that adapting ourselves to these life schedules. None of us can run away from these life schedules just because they are stressful, right? Adapting ourselves to them is what is necessary. That is where we focus on stress management. How to manage stress. It's not that we are avoiding stress. We are managing stress. Identify the difference between those two. By prioritizing effective stress management techniques and fostering a culture of flexibility, organizations can create a supportive atmosphere that enhances employee satisfaction and drives performance. So, by applying these stress managing techniques, not only in your personal life, but at the same time at the organizational level, you are able to satisfy both your employer as well as your personal life, right? Look at this one, students. I am not quite sure whether you will be able to see what is given here, right? But I will read it out for you. Cause of stress at the work. Do you want me to upload the PowerPoints before the class? That is better, right? Because now as we have some students joining online as well, I'll keep them uploaded before my session. Come up there, I will keep it uploaded. At least then you can look at your phone and do it now, isn't it? Okay, I will do it next time. Cause of stress at the workplace. So this time for batch 70, there was a question on cause of stress at the workplace. How is stress created at the workplace? What are the ways how stress is created in the workplace? We'll pay attention to that. I will read this out for all of you. Workplace stress can arise from factors such as excessive workload. It can create stress, undoubtedly. However much you are good at managing your stress, students, remember, there will be some kind of stress when you have a workload to complete. Tight deadlines, one after the other, right? So these are some of the ways that stress can be caused at your workplace. Tight deadlines and lack of control over tasks. You are unable to control the tasks that are given to you. What tasks or control of course it will create some kind of stress. And then leading to increased pressure on employees. So these kind of activities, these kind of types can create workplace stress. Additionally, poor communication, conflict with colleagues. When you are not in good terms with your colleagues, that also can create some kind of stress. Right? So conflicts with colleagues. No, you are not going to do that. and lack of work-life balance can contribute to elevate stress levels in the workplace. Elevate means increase. These are some of the ways that will cause stress in work life, right? But remember, there are always remedies for them. There are remedies for them, students. Not that we don't have, right? How to reduce work-related stress. Now we'll see. First, we looked into the ways how stress is created in the workplace. Now we'll see how to reduce the work-related stress. First one is stay organized. Whether you are an employee or you are focusing to be a student, it doesn't matter. Both in your work life as well as your personal life, it is mandatory to be organized. You have to be organized. That is, of course, is essential, right? Next one is take a time out. Are you going to work like machines every day without stopping? No. Always make sure that you take a break from whatever you do, right? You need some time for yourself. You need some time to rest. And once you are done with resting, make sure you return to your work, not resting forever, right? Our students, they take the book, read the book for 5 minutes, and the break is for 3 hours. Right? And after that, you feel sleepy and get only 5 minutes per day reading the book. The rest is a break. Not like that. Take a break whenever it's necessary, but make sure to return back to what you have been doing. Manage your time. Time management is very important. Most of the time, we waste time on what is unnecessary. During your relaxed time, you can engage in whatever that makes you happy, whatever releases your stress. But remember, you have to make sure that you manage your time to complete the most essential tasks and then rest. Okay? Managing your time. Next one is positive attitude. All තරම් යාළුවෝ වලට හම්බ වෙලා ඇති, colleagues ලා හම්බ වෙලා ඇති, හැම තිස්සෙම බෑ කියාගත්තා. කරන්න බෑ. මොකක් හරි task එකක් දුන්නොත් අයියෝ බෑ. මේක හරියට වෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. හැම තිස්සෙම negative. We were talking about negative mindset last week, right? So always be positive. Are you listening? Always be positive. Have the positive attitude. Have the attitude that you can do that, right? Next one, have a healthy diet. Nasro, what are you talking about? Are you talking about a healthy diet? Have a healthy diet. Do you think that the food that you take in will not affect your stress? It does, right? The food, I will show you a video, right? You will understand how the food consumption will affect your stress management. Food also plays a role when it comes to managing stress. So having a healthy diet is very important. Okay. Next one is get enough sleep. What do you do most of the time? K-pop balai, K-dramas balai, Korean. එහෙම නැත්නම් mukbangs බලයි රැලි වෙනකම් අර බත් හැලි ගණන් ගිහිනේ ඕනේ නේද පිළිපි ළමයි මොනවද කරන්නේ රැලි වෙනකම් වෙඩි තියා ගන්න ගේම්ස් ගන්න නැද්ද ඉතින් මොකද no enough sleep පහුවෙන්ද ලෙක්චර් එකට ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳී ඉන්න මම ඒවට කියන්නේ නැහැ but then you have to focus on what is important. I will tell you one lesson from me, right? Now, normally every Sunday, I have an online class in the morning from 8:30 to 11:30. Online classes are very difficult, students. It's not like this, right? Because you don't know what your students are doing. You don't have any connection to your students. You are just speaking to the screen. And it is very boring. Right? It's very boring and at the same time, it's very tiring. because you keep on speaking to a screen, which you do not have any connection. And if we do not have enough sleep, what happens is that there is a tendency to fall asleep. Why? Because I don't see anybody. There's no interaction. Throughout the 3 hours, I keep on speaking to a screen. So every Saturday, whatever work I have, I make sure that I have a very good sleep on Saturdays. Why? Because I have a class on Sunday morning. I can't fall asleep in front of them just because I did not have enough sleep, right? So remember, when it comes to you as students, focus on what is important. For me, on Sunday morning, the most important task is doing the class to my students. So if that is my concern, I have to make sure that I take a good sleep. Similarly, if you are attending lectures, right, keep your playing games and watching all that for your leisure time. But focus on what is more important. That is really important when it comes to your personal as well as professional life. Okay, focus on what is important. So then, getting enough sleep is essential. Next one, be active. So of course, I have seen there is a tendency of these young boys and girls joining workouts in gyms, and they run in walking paths, which is very good, right? Whenever you have time, of course, make sure that you are active, right? Engage in such exercises, meditation, yoga, very good. You don't have to spend money. There are online programs which you can engage in. Engage in them. Don't say that you don't have time, right? If you have time to play games at night, and if you have time to do other things, of course, you should be able to take care of your health as well, right? Finally, talk to someone. So there have been some unfortunate incidents recently because they have not been sharing themselves with others. Don't think that there's nobody to listen to you. If you don't have friends, remember always your teachers are there where you can go and talk to them, right? They won't turn a deaf ear to you. They will always be there to talk with you, and don't think that you are alone. So if you have anything to discuss, to communicate, always talk to somebody. But sometimes you may feel, I don't want to share this information with them. Then what can you do? You can write it down. It will also lessen the pressure that you have. Write it down. Okay, so these are some of the ways how you could reduce your work-related stress. First one is staying organized, take a time out, manage your time, positive attitude, have a healthy diet, get enough sleep, be active, talk to someone, right? These are some of the ways that you can reduce your stress related to work. Right. Now we'll come to work-life balance. I have a question for you. Can you give me the answer to this one? Do you work to live or you live to work? What is it? Is it the first one or the second one? Huh? What is it? Do you work to live or live to work? Tell me one answer. Only one chance is given. Yeah? What do you think? What do you do? Tell me. First one or the second one? Are you kidding me? No. Only one chance is given. What do you do first? First one or the second one? Stress management, second one. Come on. You cannot be living to work. Well, your companies might like it, but students, you're not living to work. What are you doing? You should be working to live. Right? are working because you need it, not that you are living to do it, right? Look at this. Now we are coming to the importance of work-life balance. Work-life balance refers to the equilibrium. What do you mean by equilibrium? Managing both sides, right? Having them in the same level. Equilibrium between an individual's work responsibilities and personal life activities. You should be a person who engages in your responsibilities in the same manner you engage in your personal life activities as well. Because remember, there are some people who pay more attention to personal life than work life. What is the disadvantage there? The disadvantage goes to the companion. At the interview, you have said, I will be committed and I will do this job, then that they have trusted you, they recruit you, and once you get recruited, you engage in your personal life activities even during the work hours. That is dishonesty. Do you understand? But what if you engage in your work responsibilities in your personal life as well? Then that is unfair for your relationships, isn't it? The loved ones of yours. So you should be a person who manages both sides in your life. It's not a difficult task. So we discussed some of the ways that you can manage them. We'll look into some of them as well. It involves effectively managing time and energy. You have to make sure when to use energy to your personal life and when to use energy to your professional life. Understanding when to use them is important. To ensure that neither area overwhelms the other, allowing individuals to lead fulfilling lives both at work and at home, so that you will be spending a very fulfilling life, benefiting both the people at your workplace as well as in your personal life, right? None of them will get overwhelmed, none of them will get disappointed by you if you are able to manage your work life. And then, improved mental health. A balanced lifestyle can reduce stress and anxiety, leading to better mental health outcomes. It will, of course, reduce your anxiety, right? So a balanced lifestyle is what you will get as a result of balancing your personal and work life. Increase productivity. You can do a lot of work when you balance both your sides. Employees who feel balanced are often more focused and productive during work hours. The thing is that I will show you a video, right? You think whether you are someone like that. During the work hours, what do? They scroll Facebook, they engage in WhatsApp chats, and call their whoever it is in their families, have a good chat, spend about 1.5 hours for lunch. Then what happens? You are unable to manage the work that you have at your workplace. Right? Giving personal space to your working hours and giving your working hours to your personal space is something that would complicate everything. So you should know how to balance both. Enhanced relationships. Allocating time for family, friends, and personal interests strengthens relationships and supports social well-being. So remember, you can improve your relationship with your loved ones as well as your professional context, relationships related to your professional context as a result of managing stress, right? Job satisfaction. A healthy work-life balance contributes to greater job satisfaction and loyalty, reducing turnover rates. So if you are able to balance both your professional life as well as your personal life, it tends to give you more satisfaction in your job role, right? And physical well-being, finally, physical well-being. Taking time for personal activities encourages a more active lifestyle and better physical health. Remember, students, whatever we do, right? Don't forget to pay attention to your physical well-being, taking healthy food, and also maintaining your active lifestyle is doing at least 20 minutes exercise is really important, because only when you start doing that, you will my slides are. Okay. So what were we talking? We were talking about the importance of work-life balance, right? So there, I mentioned to you, as a result of work-life balance, what are the benefits that you will gain? Improved mental health, increased productivity, right? Enhanced relationships. The relationships that you have in both your personal life as well as your professional life will be improved, right? You will be in good moods when you balance your work life as well as your personal life. Job satisfaction, and then physical well-being. So these are some of the benefits that you will gain as a result of balancing both your work and life. Now, students, strategies for achieving work-life balance. How can you achieve this work-life balance? What are the steps that you should do? Now, we looked into some of the advantages, right? Now, let's see how we can do this. Set clear boundaries. Sometimes you may feel, no, this person is very toxic. I must set boundaries with him or her so that I can prioritize my happiness, isn't it? You may feel that with maybe your colleagues or maybe whoever it is that you meet in your life. So make sure to set clear boundaries. That is, define specific work hours and stick to them to prevent work from encroaching on personal time. When it comes to your work, right, you may have to focus on your working hours, and after that, make sure that you give time to your personal life after your working hours, not to mix up both, right? Then prioritize tasks. Look into the tasks that are important to be completed first. Prioritizing means that use prioritization techniques to focus on what truly matters, both at work and home. Tools like age-hour metrics can help. Now, I have heard some people say, okay, even at the funeral day of my father, I came to work. I don't know whether you have heard such sayings of people. Now, the thing is that they don't know how to prioritize their work life, right? At that time, they should understand what should be prioritized. Is it the work or is it the personal life that you are spending, right? That is not something that you can boast about, right? සමහර කියනවා මම එක විවාදයක්වත් අරගෙන නැහැ මුළු අවුරුද්දටම. I heard some principal or somebody saying that recently. Well, I don't think that is an achievement. Of course, there are leaves for you to apply. No, I'm not encouraging you to apply all the leaves just because you have leaves. But then again, if you feel that you need this break for you, or if you think I need to commit this day for my mother, for my father, of course there's no harm in taking that. Remember, at that point, what to be prioritized? Is it your personal life or is it your work? Sometimes you may have to engage in your work, keeping your family as the second option. There could be times like that. So then you have to decide. Prioritizing your tasks are important. So use prioritization techniques and then learn to say no. සමහර අය ඉන්නවා. හරි හරි මම එන්නම් කියලා all responsibilities ටික බාර ගන්නවා. හැබැයි එයාට යන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? එයාට responsibilities දීපුවා, එයාව accountable කරලා එයාව ගැන විශ්වාස තියපුවා, what will happen to them? They will get disappointed. They say yes to everything, but then they don't turn up. So if you feel you can't complete a responsibility, say no at first. I'm sorry. With my time schedule, it is very difficult for me to attend to this event or attend to this task. Can you please assign this task to somebody else? They will find someone and they will assign it. Learn to say no, right? And then utilize technology wisely. The thing is that we do not use technology wisely. We have confused technology and we have become dependent on technology. Remember, students, technology is made to be depending on us. අපි කියන විදිහට අපි instructions වල විදිහට තමයි technology එක තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි අපි මොකද කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ? technology එකට ඕන විදිහට තමයි අපි වැඩ. Right? So that should not happen. We are not slaves of technology. They have to do the tasks, complete the tasks according to the way that we want. Right? So don't become slaves of technology. That is important. So leverage tools that enhance productivity, but also set boundaries around technology use after hours. Once you are done with the usage of this particular technology, make sure to take a break, take a rest, right? So these are some of the strategies that you can follow in order to achieve work-life balance. One is the first one, set clear boundaries. Second one, prioritize your tasks. Learn to say no. Utilize technology wisely. Next one, schedule personal time. Have some me time for you. You may have girlfriends, you may have boyfriends, you may have your parents with you all the time. You may have very close friends with you, but spend some time alone. right? And think about yourself. Spend some me time alone, right? Maybe you can go out, you can take yourself on a date, right? Eat some good food, visit some places that you like to visit alone. You don't always have to have a company. You yourself can do it, right? So schedule some personal time for you. Treat personal commitments with the same importance as work tasks. Schedule time for hobbies, exercise, and relaxation. That is important. Communicate with employers. Now here I'm focusing on work balance. So openly discuss your needs with your employer. Many organizations are supportive of flexible arrangements that promote work-life balance. Actually, it is very pleasant to say that most of the companies at present, they actually want their employees to balance both their personal life as well as their work life, right? Because they understand the importance of both sides. Therefore, if you have any issues, always communicate with your employer. Practice self-care. Regularly engage in activities that promote physical and mental health, such as exercise, meditation, or pursuing hobbies. Create a supportive environment. Make sure that you have at least one or two genuine people in your life, right? Not that everybody can be genuine with you, or not that they can be true friends to you, everybody that you associate, but at least one or two of them. Make sure to have them in your life, right? Foster a workplace culture that values work-life balance and encourage employees to take time off when needed. Right. So look at this one. Work-life balance. How important is it? This is the winning formula that you have to follow if you want to balance your work life as work and life. First one, here we have work in yellow color. We have work, job satisfaction, career advancement. Here you have family and children, positive relationships. In red, self. Don't forget yourself. When it comes to balancing work and family, don't forget to pay attention to you. Self-care is important. Health and well-being, travel and leisure. So a combination of all these three will help you to balance your work life. Do you understand? It is a combination of all these things. Look at the next picture. Creating smart goals for work-life balance. I will read it. I know you can't see them. So here, how can you create smart goals for work-life balance? Specific. Allocate 30 minutes daily for personal reflection and relaxation. When you go home, reflect on what has happened throughout the day. Measurable. Track relaxation time through a daily journal or mobile app. See how much time you spend to relax. That's a good way of managing your time. Achievable. Gradually increase relaxation time from 30 minutes to 45 minutes over the next month. Gradually increase little by little. And then relevant. Prioritize activities that bring joy and align with your long-term vision. Always prioritize the activities that will make you happy, right? And then time bound. Achieve the 45-minute relaxation goal within the next 30 days. Every day, have some time for yourself. Oya venuwen velawa wen karanna mataka ඇතුව, right? And then this is related to your life. This is the yellow color circle mentions about the smart goals for work balance. Under specific, clearly define your work-life balance goals. What are the work-life balance goals that you have? Clearly define them. Under measurable, establish measurable criteria to assess your progress. Every day when you are working, you see how you are gaining progress in your work life. Because always, students, you should do better than yesterday. There should be a progress. When it comes to your work life, you have to have a progress, improve, gain more skills, right? Complete your tasks. So then you should be able to, what you call, track them. Next one, set realistic and attainable objectives. Realistic and attainable. Looking to the objectives that you can complete. කවදාවත් ළඟා කරගන්න බැරි ලොකු goals ඔයගොල්ලෝ set කරන්න එපා. Why? Because if you don't achieve them, what will happen is that you will be disappointed. Always looking to short-term goals as well as long-term goals that are achievable, right? And then align goals with your values and priorities. Look into those goals and with the qualities that you have in yourself. And finally, define a clear time frame for goal achievement. Have a time frame. By the end of this year, I will have achieved this. By the end of next 2 years, I will have achieved this. Have a time frame so that you know that you are working towards it. නිකං යන්නම් බාල semester එකක් පටන් ගත්ත හින්දා classes එනවා exam කරනකොට පාඩම් කරනවා එහෙම නෙමෙයි. Have some goals in your life. Think, okay, by the end of this month, I'm going to complete all these tasks. I'm going to have short notes on these subjects. Complete them, right? It is important. And then, by actively pursuing work-life balance, individuals can enhance their overall quality of life. Why is this work-life balance is important? In order to enhance the quality of life. නැත්තම් හැමදාම කරක්කු වෙලා දුවනවා ජොබ් එකට ඊට පස්සේ වැඩ ටික පිළිවෙලක් නැහැ දැනුම් අහනවා බොස්ගෙන් ගෙදර ආවම ගෙදර ප්‍රශ්න everything is confused and mixed up. But if you are able to balance your work life, of course it will help to enhance the quality of your life, leading to greater fulfillment in both their personal and professional endeavors. Balancing these aspects is not only beneficial for the individual, but also fosters a more productive and harmonious workplace culture. Right? And as a result of balancing work life, what will it lead to? It will help you to manage your stress. What is our topic for today? Stress management. So, balancing your work life will lead to management of your stress. Do you understand? So, that is how I want to connect the two topics that I discussed with you today. Right? After that, we have a small, no, we can watch this, right? Yeah, we can watch this. Now look at this one. right? What did this video tell you? It told you that some people, the focus of some people could be different to the focuses that we have in our life. So you have to understand what is your focus and then work for it in order to manage the stress that you will go through in your everyday life, right? I have anyway attached the links below. Whenever possible, just go through these videos leisurely, because it will also give you some more information on the lesson that we are doing, right? So after that, students, do you need a break? Yes. For what? For what do you need a break? I have been shouting my throat out here. You are the ones who need the break. Here, I will give you 15 minutes, not more than that. Can you return by 15 minutes? Now it's 4:30. ළමයි මට ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක ඔයගොල්ලෝ වෙනම කරොත් සිලබස් එක කවර් කරන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ එන්න තුනම අට පන්තියට. හරිද? ඇවිල්ලා ඊට පස්සේ 6ට යන්න. බ්‍රේක් එකක් තියලා තව විනාඩි 15. විනාඩි 15 වෙනි ඔයගොල්ලෝ එන්නේ නැහැ. විනාඩි 20ක් 30ක්. I will not be able to complete this, right? So now from next week onwards, at least be here in the class by 3:10. Because you have a huge syllabus to complete, right? How we have to do writing. We haven't started writing yet. Actually, I was thinking to start writing today, but I don't know whether time would permit me to do, right? So please take this seriously. If you want me to send you by 6 o'clock, I can send you by 6 o'clock, but at least come to the class by 3:10. Okay, right? Take a break. Take about 15 minutes and come back, right? Okay, can we start then? Students, can we start? We have this topic to do, and after that, if time permits, I will focus on the writing activity that we have to do, because now remember, when it comes to this semester, we have to do interpretation of data. That means interpretation of graphs and charts. We have to do that. We have to discuss how to write a report, as well as we have to discuss how to write a proposal. We have to discuss how to write a business portfolio. There are so many lessons that we have to do, right? So because when it comes to your exam, write your paper, don't think that it's going to be a paper just like you got in your first semester, I mean the second semester. It's going to be a very standard paper where you will have to read a lot and produce a lot at the examination, right? So that's why, students, for me to set questions to you, I have to complete these lessons, right? So shall we make a move to do flexibility of an individual in managing workplace and personal life? My students who are joining online, can you hear me clearly? Can you please put a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Yeah? Right, great. Okay, let's look at flexibility of an individual in managing workplace and personal life, right? As individuals, how can we be flexible when it comes to managing workplace and personal life? Flexibility in managing workplace responsibilities and personal life is crucial for achieving a healthy work-life balance. Here are some key aspects of how individuals can cultivate this flexibility. How can you cultivate this flexibility of managing your both personal and professional life? First one is remote work. Actually, if you can get permission from your company to work at least one day remotely, that will help you to adapt your work arrangements. Taking advantage of remote or hybrid work options allow individuals to manage their schedules more effectively. So if you are being given a chance to work remotely from your company, take use of that, right? Take use of that. Flexible hours. Some of the companies, they give flexible hours, flexible working hours for their employees. So if you are being offered with such opportunity, make sure to use that. Adjusting work hours to fit personal commitments can help individuals juggle both roles more smoothly. So both areas you can handle smoothly, right? For you to be flexible, if your company offers you these privileges, don't hesitate to take them, right? And at the same time, while taking them, make sure that you cover up your responsibilities, right? Because don't forget that because of your personal commitments, right? Next one, time management skills. So how can you be flexible in stressing situations in your life, stress situations in your life? Time management skills, prioritization, identifying and focusing on high priority tasks helps prevent feeling overwhelmed and allows to dedicated personal time. So if you can focus on your priorities first and then come to the less important tasks, that will also help you to manage your time and be flexible in both your work and life. Scheduling. Using calendars or planners to block out time for both work and personal activities can help maintain balance. So actually, if you follow this scheduling method, students, you will not forget the meetings that you have to attend. You will not forget the personal commitments that you have to attend. Always make it a habit to mark it in a calendar, right? So then you will not forget it, because all of us are humans. We can forget at any time. Sometimes only when the meeting is going on, somebody will call you and tell you, okay, the meeting is going on, can you please join, right? So in order to prevent missing those important meetings and schedules, make sure to schedule your day every day. Setting boundaries, we discussed about it. I'm not going to elaborate it that much, but then again, let me explain this to you. Clear limits. Establishing boundaries around work hours and personal time can help prevent work from encroaching on home life. So always make sure to give your fullest when you are working and to give your fullest when you are at home, right? Don't mix them up. Digital detox. What do you mean by detoxing? Detoxing means removing the toxic ones, right? So digital detox, that is very important. මම දන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක engage වෙනවද කියලා. මොකද digital detox කියලා කියන්නේ? Taking breaks from work-related technology after hours fosters personal time and mental clarity. Even if you go home and engage in technology, you are scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, okay, attending to work in the Instagram. So if you are not detoxing yourself, then of course there's going to be a problem when it comes to being flexible in your everyday life. Digital detox is therefore very important when it comes to setting boundaries. Actually, let me share with you a personal experience of mine. One of my friends, actually, she was boasting about that. She was telling me, even on the go, I work. So, like, I was like, are you serious? What does it mean? Even on the go, that means while traveling, they work on their laptop. That is not really necessary, isn't it? It shows that you are unable to manage your time. Not that it's something to boast about. Right? Travel කරනකොටත් ඔය travel කරනවා කියන්නේ office එනකොට සහ යනකොට office ඇවිල්ලා ගෙදර යනකොටයි office එකට උදේ එනකොටයි laptop එක දිගාරගෙන වැඩ කරනවා. It's not something to boast about. It shows that you are unable to manage the time given to you. Do you understand? So detoxing your digital activities is important. Open communication. Discussing needs. Always discuss what you need from your employer. Communicating with employers about personal commitments can lead to adjustments in workload or schedules. Sometimes, remember students, not every company will turn a deaf ear to your requests. There are very good companies who always look into the needs of their employees, right? They pay attention to the needs of their employees. Actually, I think at present, almost all of these companies, they help their employees to balance both work and life, right? So discuss your needs with them. Team support. Building a supportive workplace culture encourages sharing responsibilities and helps reduce individual pressures. Now, I have seen some work cultures. Are you listening to me? Okay, I have seen in some work cultures when some people join newly to that office or that job, the other seniors of that particular company or organization or else that particular department, they just tend to ignore them, right? Show different faces to them early morning, and then show different moods to them, tend to not to care them. That should not happen, right? If a team member gets added to your team, you have to make sure that you have to run the journey with them as well, right? Not by dropping them and running the journey, right? So always make sure that you create a very supportive workplace environment. If you see that there are gaps between this supportive workplace, make sure to bridge those gaps, right? Because when there are gaps, it's very difficult to reach your organizational goals. එක විදිහට වැඩ කරේ නැත්නම් ටීම් එකක් විදිහට වැඩ කරේ නැත්නම් එකිනෙකාට personal goals නම් තියෙන්නේ working hours or else in your workplace, then it's not going to be a teamwork, or you will not be able to achieve your organizational goals as a department or a division or a team, right? And then self-care practices. When it comes to flexibility, taking care of yourself is also important. Physical activity. Incorporate regular exercise into daily routines can enhance both mental and physical well-being. Mindfulness, being mindful. Engaging in mindfulness or relaxation techniques can help manage stress and improve focus. Students, now you may wonder, okay, what are these relaxation techniques and mindfulness? What are these techniques that I should engage in? There are ample of resources that you can find in the internet in order to engage in mindfulness and relaxation techniques, right? Give it a try and see how those techniques will help you to improve your flexibility at workplace while taking care of yourself. Okay? And then, look at this one. I don't think you will be able to see this. Let me explain it to you. Now here, or else I can enlarge it. First one, prioritize your tasks. Focus on important tasks first. Set goals. Define clear, achievable goals. තමාට ළඟා කරගන්න පුළුවන් goals මුලින්ම හිතන්න. තව අවුරුදු 10කින් ඔයා achieve කරන goals හිතන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා think about the short-term goals that you have to achieve in order to reach that long-term goal, right? එක පාරටම long-term goal එකක් හිතන්න එපා, which sometimes could be unachievable, right? So prioritize your tasks. Set goals, use a planner. If you want to be well organized, you should have a plan, right? Plan your day. Schedule your tasks and deadlines. Write it on a book. and then plan. Time blocking. Allocate specific times for tasks. So you may think, okay, early in the morning, I'm going to finish these tasks. Before 12 o'clock, I'm going to finish these tasks and then attend to the rest of the tasks that I have assigned. Time blocking. Eliminate distractions. Minimize interruptions. So when it comes to your workplace, right, scrolling through Facebook, looking at Instagram, that is not really necessary unless you have a free time to do that. Focus on the work, right, and then take a break. During the break, you can do that. Delegate. සමහරු මොකද කරන්නේ දොඩම් ගෙඩි ටික බදාගත්තා වගේ ඔක්කොම responsibilities ටික බදා ගන්නවා අන්තිමට එකක්වත් කරගන්න බෑ. That is not how a leader should work. You have to always delegate the tasks. හැමෝටම assign කරන්න task එකක්. For an example, if you are organizing an event, give work to your colleagues as well. It's not that you have to do everything. No. Work as a team, delegate tasks to your friends and colleagues at workplace, right? Assign tasks to others when possible. Then take breaks, very important. Rest to maintain productivity. You need a break. Your body needs a break. Your mind needs a break. Sometimes you may think, no, I don't need a break. I must work. No. Your mind needs a break, your body needs a break. Therefore, please don't forget to take breaks when you are working. Review progress. That is කරලම විතරක් මදි. අපි බලන්න ඕනේ progress එකක් අපේ තියෙනවා. දැන් first semester එකේ විදිහටම තාම මගේ knowledge එක අදටත් තියෙන්නේ. මොනවද මම improve කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ? Have I improved my presentation skills? Have I improved my other problem-solving skills? When it comes to your knowledge, what are the areas that I have improved? What are the new things that I have learned? See whether you have progress. වැඩ කරනවා කියන එක නෙමෙයි ළමයි තියෙන්න ඕනේ. වැඩ කරන ගමන් progress එකක් තියෙන්න. improvement එකක් තියෙන්න. හැමදාම එක තැන ඉන්න බෑ. Do you understand? So take some time to see whether you have improved in your life. May have a day, delegate your time. Separate some time to take care of yourself, to think about you, how you are progressing and how are you going to progress in the future. Next one, stay organized. Once again, very important. Learn to say no. If you can't do it, please don't take it. Just say no, I can't do it right now. And then, look at this one. Once again, how to instantly feel better. Instantly, දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරි කැමතිනේ quick results දෙන ඒවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ වැඩි කැමති නෑ ටික කාලයක් යන results දෙන ඒවාට වැඩි කැමති නෑ this generation. So we'll see how to feel better instantly, quickly. If you are a person who overthinks, හැමදේම අපි හිතමු වැඩියෙන්ුත් හිතන කෙනෙක් නම් try to write what you feel and think. Right? Write it. If you feel that your brain is very complicated after overthinking, write it. If you are a person who gets anxious all the time, if you are a person who gets nervous all the time, right? Start trying some meditating techniques. Meditating is a very good way to avoid getting anxious. Another good one, if you are tired, don't keep on working. Take a nap, take a rest, right? Take a nap and take a rest. If you are sad, exercise. That's a very motivating way to get rid of your sadness, right? Exercise or do some yoga. If you are stressed, suppose you are filled with all the responsibilities and so many work to be done, stress, just go for a walk. Walk for some time, ride a bicycle and do some swimming and then get back to the work, right? අපිට දෙයක් අපි හිත overthinking නම් අපි overthink කරමින් ඉන්න එපා because it will make things worse. If you are tired, do not keep on making yourself tired. Just move yourself out from that routine. If your friends. Listen to some music. Do a swim like this. If you are angry, listen to music. If you feel really angry and stressed, then if you're going to burst in anger, just listen to some music that will heal yourself. And then, bored, come anywhere. Connect with a friend. Have a chit chat. You can cook some dishes if you like, if you are good at cooking, or else, do something that you like that will make you happy. Bored now, boring video karanne epa. Try to get rid from that. And if you are burnt out, this of course can happen to you. If you are burnt out, take a break. Burnt out I don't know whether you have come across this situation. Burnt out means, students, things are getting uncontrollable. You can't control your tasks. You are running out of time. You do not know how to manage. Your moods are out, right? You feel thoroughly disappointed and depressed. So then, take a break. Don't think working continuously will solve it up. Take a break. Think how you are going to solve it and get back to your work. Do you understand? Right? Then because this is skills development, right? You have to apply them in your life. Make a improve right? Otherwise, we would not, pay this much of time explaining these techniques and all that. You have to apply these techniques to your life, right? And take the benefit of these techniques. And then, okay, now I'm going to show you a video, right? You think which person you are going to become. මෙතන ඉන්නවා දෙන්නෙක්. මිනිස්සු දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ දෙන්නගෙන් කවුද ඔයා වෙන්නේ කියන එක හිතන්න. You think to yourself, right? Hold on. right? So of course it was not a horror film, but then again, what is the message that I want to tell you? Small choices become actions, right? Oh, sorry. Small choices become actions, right? You may think, okay, I will do this for a while and then I can get rid of that. No, you will not be able to do that. So small choices become actions. Initially, you will think, okay, for now I'm going to do this and then I will get rid of that. No, you will not be able to do. It will become an action of yours. And then actions become habits. Here, this point, just stop scrolling this one all the time. You were looking at your mobile phone. So focus on this one, will you? Actions become habits. If you continue to do that, it's going to become a habit of yours. You can't stop that, my dear students. It's going to be a habit of yours. Habits වලින් අපිට add වෙන්න හරි අමාරුයි. It's going to take a lot of energy, time, and a lot of work. You will have to work a lot if you want to get rid of your habits. So before your actions become habits, make sure to avoid them from small actions itself. So small choices become actions, actions become habits, and remember, your habits are going to become the way how you live your life, right? So think which person you are going to be. I think almost all the examples that were shown there, you might be following, right? Some good and some bad. So think what you should do. What is your priority and work on that. And then, of course, managing stress is not a difficult task, right? Managing stress is not a difficult task. That's the end of my session. Oh my goodness. I just can't. You went to the bus. You missed a good video. I feel sorry for you. I was showing them a horror film over here. Right. So did you enjoy the session? Thank you. How about my students joining online? Did you enjoy the session today? Thank you, Surya. I know you were there in my day class, right? Yes. Okay, great. Others? Did you? Right. Lakshi is also here and other students. Good, good. So take these lessons to your life, my dear students. Right? You have to take these lessons to your life. Now, what are we going to do? Go. No, I think. Shall we do a small activity? Shall we start formal writing part 1 today? Shall we start that, everybody? Because you know why? If I take this introduction today, then I can start with the rest of the writings. It's a bit of a long one. You cannot carry. I have to share the QR code, no? Just wait until I share a QR code for you to mark your attendance. Done? Yeah. No? Okay. Right? Okay, everybody. Okay, the key never name the book is yeah. Now, today I'm going to start formal writing. Okay? Because otherwise, it is me who's not going to be able to finish this syllabus with you. Right? Okay. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy period. Right? You want to see how long that is? Right. Now, why I'm taking, can you see the letters? Last year, can you see the letters here? Then come to the front. Knock your point to make sense. And that's it. Come. Hey, that's the option.
It's very clear.
It's very clear. Right? Okay. So, formal writing. I mean, I'm seriously asking, if you can't see, just come to the front because it's not good when it comes to straining your eyes. Right? If you can't see, come to the front. Simple as that. Right? Right. Now, students, here I'm going to focus on formal writing because we have, I can't shout, okay? Focus on what I'm explaining to you. Because we have so many formal writings to do in semester 3, right? In your second year, first semester, we have to do many writings, formal writings. Therefore, today I'm going to take the introduction Not that I have not explained these things to you in your first semester, right? But what I'm doing here is that I'm going to recall what I explained to you more comprehensively. Now, those days, if you can remember, I explained to you as to how you should do the wording of these formal writings and all that, right? But here I will be explaining. I have added some more explanation to my tunes, and then I will be sharing this with you. What you have to do is you have to go through these and then see whether you are improving your formal writing. Okay, so when it comes to writing formal documents in this semester, there are things that you should do and there are things that you shouldn't do, right? So remember, once I teach you these areas, I don't expect you to follow the same faults that you have been doing from year one. Okay, ගැන්නුවට පස්සේ මේ උගන්නන දේවල් හරියට follow කරන්න ඕන. එහෙම නැතුව මේ උගන්නන එකෙන් ඇති වැඩක්. Therefore, please focus, go through these skills and follow. That is the most important thing, right? So I will quickly go through what I have given here. Writing is a versatile tool for communication, and the style we choose often depends on the context, audience, and the purpose of our message. Remember, students, when you are writing a formal writing, okay, you have to first look into your context. To what kind of a context am I addressing here? Your audience and also the purpose of your message. Is it to propose something? Is it to write a report, a letter? What? Two common types of writing that differ in tone, structure, and language are formal and informal writing. So we are not focusing on informal writing here. We will be focusing only on formal writing. Therefore, I will only explain this part to you. You can read the next part later at home, right? So, formal writing is typically used in professional, academic, or official settings. That is where we use formal writing, where the goal is to convey information in a clear, precise, and respectful manner. So, of course, remember your tone should be respectful when it comes to writing formal documents. And your message should be very clear and precise. And also at the same time concise. Concise means short, brief. Right? It should include all the details that you want to convey, and at the same time, it should be very brief, because nobody has time to read lengthy paragraphs in the professional context. This style prioritizes objectivity. Now, when it comes to formal writing, students, we avoid subjectivity. Subjectivity can appear opinions, our personal opinions. We do not depend on personal opinions when it comes to official setting. What do we depend on? We depend on data, or we depend on proof that you can come up with. We do not encourage personal ideas. We do not encourage subjectivity. We always go for objectivity. Do you understand? That means the results that come after doing research or after collecting data, right, and analyzing them. So then, this style prioritizes objectivity and professionalism, using complete sentences, sophisticated vocabulary, and a more structured approach. Now, when it comes to these writings, for an example, if you take report writing, there is a specific structure that you have to follow. Reports format there is a structure which you should follow, right? And also, how about the vocabulary? The vocabulary is going to be very sophisticated and little bit heavy than you use the vocabulary in your informal writing, okay? And also, complete sentences. You can't have incomplete sentences here. Always the sentences should be complete. And also, how about the tone? Tone of your presentation should be very formal and professional, right? So, it avoids contractions. It avoids contractions. You know what contractions are, right? So we say do not rather than saying don't when it comes to academic writing and formal writing. Okay? Avoid contractions, slang, and casual language. Now you may be using I wanna in your everyday life, but when you are writing formal writings, you don't use such words, right? You have to be very professional with your vocabulary. Slang and casual language and tends to maintain a serious and impersonal tone. You are not including any personal ideas there, and also you have to maintain a very serious tone. You have to be very serious when it comes to formal writing. Formal writing is commonly found in business communications, academic papers, official documents, and reports, where the writer aims to inform, persuade, or explain in the way that reflects authority and credibility. What do you mean by credibility? Credibility is, students, you have to make the reader believe in the data that you are coming up with. That is why I told you we do not include any subjective ideas in our writings, right? You have to make the reader believe in what you are writing. Credibility should be there, right? Authenticity should be there. For an example, if you want to come up with a percentage without any research, you can't put, okay, 85%. No, you have to do some research, get the feedback, and then only you can say about 85% of this population. Do you understand? So when we are doing interpretation of graphs and charts, you will understand it further. And then I'm going to skip this part, informal writing part. And then both styles serve important functions in different contexts. And understanding when to use each can help ensure effective communication. So remember, students, it's not that we don't use informal writing in the business context. But when focusing on formal writings, we don't focus on informal writing. Do you understand? Now, for an example, when it comes to composing emails, right? You can have a semi-formal tone as well as a formal tone, depending on the audience that you are talking to. Semi-formal tone, it can be casual tone. At the same time, you may have formal emails as well. So, depending on the context, you have to understand to which audience that you are delivering the message. Once you understand that, think which tone that you are going to select, right? And the first thing I have elaborated here is the tone and voice. Now look at this. In formal writing, the tone is professional, respectful, and objective. Objective means full of data. It avoids slang, contractions, and colloquial expressions. That means everyday, the expressions that we use everyday life. The language is more serious and detached. Detached means it's not attached to any emotions, or it is not driven by your personal opinions. Always it is based on data, right? Authentic data. For an example, the report will outline the key findings of the study and provide recommendations for further research, right? So, you write a report only after you do a research on it, and then you come up with key findings of your research, and then you recommend whatever the recommendations that needs to be taken into consideration for further research. In informal writing, so here the tone is conversational, casual, and friendly. It may include humor. Sometimes humor can be included in your informal writing. That's completely fine, right? Personal opinions, yes, of course, I think, in my point of view, you can include that. And more relaxed approach to the subject matter. For an example, I'll send you the report soon. Let me know if you have any questions, right? So I'll send you the report soon, which is very informal. It takes a very informal tone. How about the audience? when it comes to formal writing, typically used in professional, academic, or official contexts where the audience is expected to be more serious or formal. You have to be formal, and at the same time, you have to be very serious, such as in business communications, academic papers, official documents, or formal letters. Metal serious kiyanne, of course, your tone should be very formal. Serious kiyanne, always be serious about the data that you are presenting, right? You can't include fake data. Be serious about what you are presenting when it comes to formal writing. But how about informal writing? You can give your opinions, right? Used for personal communication, such as emails to friends or family, text messages, social media posts. Then we go up there, the practical maraban make මොකක් හරි සිද්ධියක් වෙනවා ලංකාවේ කට්ටියක් හොඳයි කියනවා කට්ටියක් හොඳ නැහැ කියලා සතියක් විතර ඔන්න බැන ගන්නවා දෙගොල්ලෝ. That is giving opinions. So some may think this is right, some may think this is wrong. That depends on their personal perspective. Social media posts or blog entries that engage a more casual or general audience. So blogs, right? And also we have blogs. All that depend on their personal opinions, right? Then, how about the sentence structure? Now, I will tell you an example. With one of the bachelors, I was, healthy habits, right? So I asked them to write the summary of that video. So when I was correcting these answers, what have they written? They have said, you should exercise in order to maintain a healthy body. As if I should maintain, right? You are telling it to the reader, you should eat healthy food. That was very rude, okay? So likewise, students, remember, when it comes to formal writing, you don't use such terms. You don't address the reader as you, okay? You don't do that. For an example, suppose you are interpreting data of a graph or chart. You don't say, you can see in the above graph these details. You don't say that. We don't use that language, right? So then how are we going to structure the sentences? Sentences are often longer, more complex, and carefully constructed. For an example, there is a preference for full sentences and more sophisticated vocabulary. You don't personalize it. You don't use pronouns when it comes to writing formal writings. The implementation of the new policy has resulted in a significant increase in employee productivity, right? So there is no personalization. For an example, I think the implementation of the new policy. No. Here you say the implementation of the new policy and how the benefits have occurred to the relevant content. And now, how about the grammar and vocabulary? Formal writing, strong adherence to proper grammar rules. Of course, you have to follow the grammar rules whether you like it or not. Right? With precise and advanced vocabulary, it avoids contractions. For an example, I cannot express enough how important it is to follow the guidelines in this document. For an example, suppose you may have to mention the importance of following some guidelines in the attached document. So then you may use a sentence like that. And then I'm only reading out the formal writings, right? You can read the rest. And then contractions, formal writing, you do not use contractions in formal writing. For an example, cannot, do not, will not are the expanded words that you have to use. You do not use contractions like can't, don't, and won't. Okay? So use some personal pronouns. This is what I was again explaining to you, right? Personalizing. Formal writing may use personal pronouns like we, I, you, but often in a more impersonal or distant way. It focuses more on the subject matter than the writer or the reader. Api formal writing waladi man kiwwa wagema personal opinions නෙවෙයි අපි focus කරන්නේ elaborate කරන data. එතකොට the personal opinions are irrelevant, right? They don't have any relevance to whatever that you are presenting. For an example, the findings of this report suggest that improvements are needed in the current system. Okay? Right? The findings of this report suggest that improvements are needed in the current system. Also, if you tell it very informally, how can you say it? I think we should meet to discuss the project. I think, my opinion, that's my opinion, which is not really relevant. Abbreviations and slang. In formal writing, you have to avoid abbreviations except for the standard abbreviations. For an example, CEO. Everybody knows about it, right? So none of us know what that means, that abbreviation is, right? So when it comes to formal writing, avoid using abbreviations that are not standard. USA, everybody knows what USA is, right? You can use such abbreviations, but don't use abbreviations that are known only to you, but not to the others, right? For an example, in informal writing, OMG for oh my God. I don't know whether you have heard some people, without saying oh my God, they say OMG, as if it saves their time. Oh my God, කියන වචන ටිකට යන වෙලාව save කරගන්නවා වගේ OMG. I have heard people saying that. I was thinking, oh my God, what a ridiculous thing that is. So we have to think what is OMG and then think, oh, okay, this is what she said. Okay, so that is that. I'll get back to you ASAP. Come on, just say as soon as possible when you are talking. ASAP. I have heard people say ASAP. And then you have to focus on your purpose, right? You have to focus on your purpose. Often used to inform, argue, explain or provide detailed analysis in a structured manner. It seeks to maintain professionalism, clarity and accuracy. Always look why you are writing this. Always look at the purpose for writing, the formal writing. Okay? And then, when you look at it, you should understand why you are writing, and depending on that reason, structure your answer. And then, I think, yes, that's all. Let's look at the differences between formal and informal writing. Now, this is what I discussed with you right now. So, in orange or rather yellow color, I have given for formal writing, the checklist for formal writing, and for informal writing, I have given it in green, or this side, right? In the formal writing, what do? We build long and complex sentences in formal writing. How about informal writing? Sentences are short and simple. Incomplete sentences are possible using ellipses. What do you mean by ellipses? 3 dots to make points. And also students, I have seen many students using ETC, right, etc. That is fine. හැබැයි මෙහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා. etc. අපිට දාන්න බෑ. එක point එකක් දාලා etc. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දැන් සිංහල වලදී අපි etc. කියන එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් යන ආදිය කියන එක. හරි. යනාදිය කියන එක දාන්න නම් අඩුම තරමේ 3-4ක්වත් ලිස්ට් එකේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එකක් දාලා යනාදිය කියන්න බෑ. Do you understand the application? ඒ නිසා now for an example, you write 3 or 4 points and then you write etc. Okay, so etc. ලියන්නේ කොහමද in short form? ECT or ETC? ETC, ETC, ECT ලියන්න හැ, ETC, etc. Learn the correct contraction, right? Sorry, the abbreviation. So, next one. We do not use contractions. We would use cannot instead of can't. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේව ගොඩාක් වැදගත් වෙන්නේ මොන කාලෙදිද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ thesis ලියන කාලේ. Right? Because you are not following these informal ways of writing when it comes to your writing your thesis contracted forms. පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ in academic writing. Okay? And also contractions and abbreviations are possible when it comes to informal writing. We do not offer personal opinions and tend to use the third person. No. We always use third person. For an example, we do not personalize our opinions, right? When it comes to pronouns, we do not, we try to avoid, not that we do not, but we mostly try to avoid using personal pronouns, right? Instead, we go for third person. Here, you can use any person, first person, second person, or third person. We do not use colloquial language, slang, or common everyday vocabulary. But in informal writing, you can use colloquial language, slang, and everyday vocabulary. How about formal writing when it comes to the use of vocabulary? We use the vocabulary of a higher level and terminology. Become simple වචන අපි ඇත්තටම දාන්නේ නැහැ formal writing වලදී. That's why I use the word sophisticated. කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ sophisticated words අඳුරගන්නේ? කොහොමද? How would you do that? Because we are not born with that talent of writing sophisticated words. කොහොමද අපි ඒවා පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? For an example, let's take report writing. There are words that we are using when it comes to writing reports. How do you know about those words? It's only by reading. ඒකනේ අපි thesis කරනකොට research papers කියවන්න reference වලට. ඇයි? අපි one thing is to get the reference to your what is the research, right? The other thing is it improves your vocabulary. ඔයගොල්ලෝ research කරන කාලේට බලන්න ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියවන්නට papers or the work done by other people, you will improve your terminology or you will improve your vocabulary, stock of your vocabulary a lot during that period. And when you engage in such activities, you tend to improve. That's why we always recommend students to read. When you read, then you understand how the sentences should be structured and you understand the terminology that should be used in relevant writings. We can't get ever improve in Do you understand? So here we use the vocabulary and higher level and terminology, but when it comes to informal writing, we use simple vocabulary. Next one, we do not use phrasal verbs, we rephrase them. What are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are formed by a verb and a preposition. For an example, get down, take off, right? Sit down. Those are phrasal verbs. We don't use phrasal verbs in formal writing, but you can use phrasal verbs when it comes to informal writing. How about the voice, passive voice? You use passive voice. You can use active voice when it comes to informal writing. We do not use emotional language when it comes to formal writing. Why? Formal writing always depends on facts and data. We can use emotional language, including emojis, or express our empathy addressing the reader directly. For an example, I feel sorry for losing the contract of this particular company. Are you going to add your emotions to formal writing? No. For an example, if you are writing a letter of complaint, it doesn't matter how much angry you are towards them. Still, you have to maintain your professional tone. Are you going to blast at them? No. Right? However much you are angry, there's a way to address the particular situation. Complaint, when it comes to complaint, right? And finally, we follow the rules of the traditional syntax and punctuation. Punctuation marks are very important. When you are writing your answers, answers from marker, samaharunge punctuation marks ne. Punctuation marks ne samaharunge. Punctuation marks we are unable to understand what you have written. And full stop ne, comma ne, capitalization ne, just think how we are going to understand the idea and the meaning of the sentences, right? Please focus on your punctuation when it comes to formal writing, because you won't have informal writing at this stage, right? Even at the paper, you will have formal writing. Please focus on your punctuation marks and capitalization and spellings. High time. Then the syntax can be broken. We can build the sentences without the subject or the predicate. So you can have phrases in informal writing. You can use phrases, sentences, incomplete sentences, okay? We'll do this one and after that I'll send you. Never informal sentences. Then from what I have taught in the first semester. The first semester will you be able to tell me some formal sentences for the informal sentences I have given here? Shana, give it a try. What do you think? Can you send me the report? Modal verbs. Instead of can, what can you use? Could. Right? Or you can say, will you be able to send me the report? Could you send me the report? Okay. And then I'm not going to discuss all. Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Tell me a better sentence for let me know if you need anything. Do not hesitate to. But it's the same meaning. Let me know if you need anything. And do not hesitate to contact for further information. Simple as that. Right? Informal sentence again here. What's up? How is it going? Overlook my email. Dana formal විදිහට මොකද්ද පළවෙනි sentence එක අපි දාන්නේ what What's up? How is it going? I hope this email finds you well. I hope this letter finds you well. You done at the garden. I'm sorry. Instead of sorry, what is the word that you can use? Apologize. Apologize. I'm looking forward to catching up with you. I'm looking forward to meeting you. That is way better rather than catching up, because catching up is what? Mokante. Then may that we get no mokante here. Ah, phrasal. It's a phrasal. Thanks a lot for your help. Help. Do we use the word help? No. What is the word? Assistance. Right? Assistance. Come on, the kind of here. Karunakala. Then Mena Satya. A Satya over the business communication, a formal writing focus on this subject. Right? First year, right? Give me a call when you are free. Call, contact. These are the answers. But for the first one, other person can you send me the reports? Could you kindly provide me with the report? Or else you can say, could you please send me the report? Right? Let me know if you need anything. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require any assistance. What's up? How is it going? I hope you are doing well. Or else, if it is an email or a letter, you can say, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm sorry I missed the meeting. I apologize for my absence from the meeting. I'm looking forward to catching up with you. I look forward to our meeting. Can we talk later? Would it be possible to schedule a time to discuss this matter? Thanks a lot for your help. I greatly appreciate your assistance. And give me a call when you are free. Please contact me at your earliest convenience. Free and whenever possible. So we use the word earliest convenience. Okay, students, listen to me. Please be thorough with this formal language, because that is the language that you are going to use throughout your life. As accountants, that's what you are going to use throughout your life. Elisa, make a podda, focus karana. When you check, I will upload it, and also I will upload the upcoming tunes as well for your reference. Please go through them. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week then. Go home safe. Just say at least thank you. Everybody who is joining online, I believe you had a good session today. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.